Awesome. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us today. It's actually episode number 33 of the Tattoo Weekly with myself, Jake Meeks of Fireside Tattoo Network, and Gabe Ripley of TattooNow and Reinventing the Tattoo. You guys can let us know that all of these streams are working by either tagging a friend in the chat, letting us know who's watching and where you're watching from. We'll watch the chat, so if you guys have any interesting comments or anything like that, let us know. Also, you guys can check out some of our other Reinventing Weekly drawing groups. We just had James Wisdom on this morning and lots of other shows too. Tomorrow is Ricardo Sturdivant's drawing group. Yesterday was Jason Leeser's at 1 p.m. on Sunday. The Tattoo Collecting Podcast Thursday evenings, and the Tattoo Now show on Wednesdays. So there's always something going on. And if you'd like to check out some of our previous streams anytime, our new Roku channel is the place to go, or reinventingthetattoo.com. So without any further ado, let's just say thanks to some of our sponsors and get kicking on episode number 33. Thank you guys to, let's just call out D-Lies Pro. I use this stuff. I rode my bike to work today. Besides protecting your art during the tattoo, they've got really cool sunscreen. So keep that in mind, you guys. Seriously impressive. Also, Raw Pigments with acrylic-free inks that have been pressing artists across the globe. Fireside Tattoo, Apprenticeship Diaries, EcoFriendlyTattooSupplies.com, and also World Tattoo Events. So if you guys have any other questions, let us know in the chat, and we'll go ahead with some introductions. Jake and Gabe, how you guys doing today?
Hey, fantastic.
Hey,
yeah, it's very fun. It's a good day or a good week.
Streams working, everybody? Let us know.
Looks to be on our end. We're live on Fireside. Deadpool says, hey, how do you get the name Deadpool on YouTube? You must have been early.
We do have Thea Duskin is going to be our special guest.
Ooh, sweet. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
And she has the link. So as soon as we, but wait, we're doing introductions. Hi, I'm Gabe from TattooNow. I do computer geeky shit. Jake?
Is that your whole introduction?
Oh yeah, I guess I was just gonna.
Good.
I listened to the time when I tried to do like the inspirational mission statement, and I fucking hacked it up like 3 times, and then you were very eloquent about it, so I figured I do computer shit for tattoo.
Oh.
No, I don't.
Perfect. All right. Hey everybody, my name is Jake. I run the Fireside Tattoo Network, where we focus on blurring the lines between tattooing and fine art. You can find us at firesidetattoo.com or right here on YouTube.
Live and in the flesh. All right, I'm going to go ahead and roll our clip for everybody, and I'm excited to see Thea. Pretty cool. I think she's already with us, actually.
Yeah, nice.
And we're back.
It's like everything about that trailer is pretty good, except for the fuck up.
Yeah.
Say, Levy. So how's what's been happening? Right? Is that where we start off? We need to get our segments nailed down, but I guess this is the catch-up phase.
Yeah. We're just kind of preparing for Hell City and getting everything in line for that. Looking forward to the tattoo tour booth, which we can talk about later today, Gabe.
Yeah, Hell City's great. That's been on my list of things to get set up for. And there's the reinventing room and the seminar room, and all the information is all set up. So yeah, we should definitely do a little bit of a deep dive into what everybody's doing at Hell City.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm curious to find out. I missed a little bit of that. I found out what my issue was here. My Ethernet cable had just come that much unplugged, so I was running solely on Wi-Fi. I was like, man, this internet connection's crappy. Yeah, but now I see you guys. You're moving at the same pace as I'm hearing your voices, and everything looks just right. So yeah, I am curious what all is happening at Hell City. I know I feel like I've kind of skated in and out of the conversation a little bit, and I've dedicated all of Sunday to whatever cool stuff we can come up with to do. So I'm excited to learn what that is.
Awesome. What have you been up to this last week?
Man, I spent the last 2 or 3 days in Heber Springs at the boat, solving first world problems, just installing a new ice maker in my wet bar.
Awesome.
Important shit.
Well, when it's it is, right? I mean,
right. You have to have ice. I mean, what are you going to drink? Warm beer? So yeah, awesome. That was my weekend. I've been watercolor painting up a storm, man. I don't know why I've ended up on this mission lately of becoming a good plein air watercolor painter, which I am not, but I have a stack of watercolor paintings here. Actually, here's one that I'm working on today. Can you guys see this one at all?
Oh, wait, hold on, let me. Oh wow! Sweet. Oh,
so thanks. This is it's dry-ish now. I've been kind of chipping away. I've got a dozen of them. So I've been doing some live, and then I take photos or find photos on Pinterest and try to paint from those, and then I'll go back and I'll look at real watercolor painters, and I'll be like, oh, I see.
Shit. I've been floating through some of my old footage, and the memories always pop up. Facebook, motherfuckers, the memories, they're sort of addicting. But Dan Marshall, just watching some of the memories from him pop up. He's amazing. He was amazing then. Yeah.
He's even better. It's crazy. You just, when you think, you don't know what you don't know. So like you see someone who's better than you and you're like, oh my God, that's as good as it gets. And then you see them get it even better. And you're like, oh, wow, that wasn't as good as it gets. They're even better now.
Yeah. It's but I love it. We got to get back in touch with him. So get him back in the.
As I was painting at the boat this weekend, I was thinking about what a great inspiring tour it would be to go to the lake and have him do some plein air stuff, because he's like, my dock is like, it shoots pretty far out, and so I can see the sailboat dock perfectly, and the sunset's behind it. So I got a lot of great photos and stuff this weekend to paint from, and I was thinking about it. I don't know if you've seen, I'm sure you've seen the stuff he did in Venice and a lot of his water kind of stuff and his sailboat. Yeah. They're so good. It'd be awesome to have him set up with a small group, 6 to 8 people. My boat sleeps 6, and then we could always borrow a neighboring boat. I've got friends there, so everyone could sleep on the water. Let us know in the comments if you guys would be down for that. Maybe a 3 or 4 day thing with Dan Marshall. We would all sleep on boats on the water, paint all day, grill food.
Voila. With you like late August, early October, or October, sometime in October, maybe? Is October too late?
Yeah, that would be cool. We've got I know we've got some October things going on, but September, October leaves are starting to change there. So that's a great time. And it really wouldn't take a lot of planning outside of getting the people to commit to it, So yeah.
Don't give away the secret. No, I mean, agreed. Like I said, when I was talking about inspiring tours with somebody this morning, with Alex Van Dutch from the World Tattoo Events. And I was like, of all of the jobs, the inspiring tour was definitely my favorite. So anything I can do to help set those things up, I'm full speed ahead.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Should go on the list. Got a handful of people already chiming in on the Fireside. We'll make sure I'm on the Fireside YouTube. I am. Last week I was on the Reinventing YouTube, and thought I was on Fireside. We've got Deadpool says he's from California. Terrence Tut says good morning. Adam Ugly says what's up, guys. Ian Tattoo says good morning. We got some folks up early.
Hell yeah.
Ish. So what is our Hell City, or the overall Hell City plan? I guess you guys have a full weekend of activities. I'll be tattooing 2 of the 3 days.
I've got the artist list right here, you guys, if you want to check it out. There are tons of artists, and I kind of looked at the majority. I was just curious to see what type of artists we're, looking at, because sometimes the attendance varies, and we haven't been in a few years. But a killer lineup of color artists. I'll say there's a lot less black and gray artists. So, just amazing stuff. Jesse Smith, of course.
Oh, is Jesse going to be in at Hell City?
Yep, Jesse Levitt as well is listed here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you guys take a look, Brian Geckel, Ty, there's just a whole handful of amazing artists. So and George as well. So if you go to healthcity.com ahead of time, then you'll kind of know and kind of grasp who you're going to run into.
It's always stacked. I just saw Matt Stebley at the Alabama convention. Not Due South. That's his convention. Which one? Space City. And he said he was going to be at Hell City. So catch up with him again.
Dave's having all as well.
Yeah, he was at he was also in Alabama at Space City. So yeah, it's always good to see. That's such a big convention. I feel like that Hell City, Columbus at least. I always feel like I don't see half the people that I intend to see, when I'm there. It's so easy to get stuck in your booth. That's a convention it's easy to tattoo at, or at least it has been for me. I don't struggle to find people to tattoo. So I end up doing long days in my booth and I don't get out as much. So I'm excited to have Sunday to wander around and maybe do some video stuff with you guys. And,
This is what we have for the reinventing room. In the reinventing seminar room, we've basically got two rooms, which is pretty awesome. If you go to reinventingthetattoo.com/hellcity, then you can see the kind of setup here. This is it's got a link to the seminar schedule and registration. This is kind of like the quick image here to check out. But let's see, what do we have? Friday, this is a seminar room. So these are all the seminars that, some of them are for free, right? We've got disposable piercing with Patrick McCarthy. This is a free seminar for the piercers for his disposable system. I hung out with him out in China. I did a tattoo convention like 4 years ago, when I was kind of in the middle of my shit show, and Patrick was there. He was talking, and I was like, oh, he looked familiar, but I'm excited to catch up with him again. But let's see, the exciting Nick Baxter, he's doing his holistic tattoo seminar. I think it's $250. He'll be beaming in from Austin, Texas to the Hell City seminar room. So we'll have a big screen in the seminar room, and we have the full hybrid setup so that everybody inside of the seminar room, there's a microphone. So, during the Q&A, we could talk directly. You could talk directly to Baxter, and then likewise, and then same thing with anybody else that's beaming into Baxter's webinar. Anyways, it's holistic. So he talks about, his, universal view, to his process. Have you taken his seminar, Jake?
I've sat through that holistic one a couple of times. It's really good. I've seen it from its very early stages up to just a couple of years ago. I'm sure it's one of those that he's always working on his stuff. So I'm sure it's changed since I've seen it last, because it changed a decent amount in the few times that I did see it, but it's always been a really good one. Yeah. 100%.
And he, like him, and it's one of those that you could watch like 2 or 3 times, later. Yeah. And get different things out of it depending on your experiences at the time and whatnot. Let's see. Yeah. So then Matt Clemmer's doing his tattoo business mastery. He's kind of doing that one directly. So the link goes straight to his, straight to him. So, and he's doing that on Friday and on Sunday from 6 to 8 on Friday. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Saturday from 12 to 2, Dr. Jinxie Cadell via Zoom. She's beaming in from California, is doing a mental health for tattooers. It's a pay as you can. So the suggested, I think, is $75, but she's more interested in, helping people with mental health tools. So if people can't afford anything, she still wants to encourage people to take it. And then 3 to 4, Patrick's doing his piercing one again. And then let's see, Sunday, we've got a bunch of tattoo seminars again. We've got mixed media design with Thea. We'll talk to her about that in about 5-10 minutes. Matt's doing his second session of the business mastery, and then Jesse Smith will be doing his calm before the chaos, 5:30 to 7:30 on Sunday. So those are like all in the seminar room. But wait, there's actually more. The reinventing room. So this is where the reinventing subscribers will be set up. We'll have tables set up for them, but it's open to the public. And okay, here we go. I'm just going to hammer through the schedule. Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. We have Tattoo Flash and Augmented Reality with Adrian Dominic. Now he's going to be beaming in from Australia. And he's created this like augmented / virtual reality world that you can actually access on your phone. I've done it a couple of times. It's really fucking cool. But for this, it'll be everybody like sits down, kind of watch the presentation when he beams in. And I believe everyone's going to get an NFT. So you can kind of get instructions and walk through the process of getting an NFT. But he'll be basically demonstrating how has a set of sleeve flash designs attached to NFTs that people can check out in augmented reality and whatnot. Anyways, it's pretty cool and pretty techy. 8:30 to 10 on Friday night, guy's going to beam in from hyperspace, an undisclosed location in hyperspace, to lead an exercise. So artists, apprentices, anybody that's interested in drawing better is welcome to join the regular Reinventing subscribers, or not the regular, the awesome, extraordinary Reinventing subscribers. And yeah, doing an exercise with Guy Aitchison beaming in from 8:30 to 10. Saturday is all history, interviews. So from 1 to 2, we have Shanghai Kate will be beaming in from Austin, Texas. And then from 2 to 3, Jay Brown will be giving us a tour of the Northwest Tattoo Museum from the Northwest Tattoo Museum. We actually have Saturday afternoon kind of open, and I think, yeah, we'll talk about with Lauren about some of the opportunities that clients and artists have to be interviewed about their tattoo collections. But we kept that pretty open. And then Sunday, last but not least for the weekend, from 1 to 2, Jason Leeser runs his Reinventing Drawing group. He does it every Sunday from 1 to 2. He'll be beaming in from Philadelphia. And yeah, anybody that's wondering what those Reinventing Drawing groups are about, or if you watch them, or if you join in on them, you can do it live on Sunday with everybody in the Reinventing room. From 3 to 4, hey, this is when we're all scheduled, the Tattoo Weekly Live. So we'll be doing this live at Hell City, like nice. Real podcasts.
Yeah. I was reading comments as you said. What's the Sunday? At what do we have a time?
Oh yeah, sorry. This image was actually made for people that are already going to be here. Oh wait, Sunday. What time? The time on Sunday is 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, and these are June. This is June 20th to the 20th. May 20th to the 22nd.
Yeah, the next weekend. This weekend.
This is this upcoming weekend. Yeah, so it's this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Otherwise, you're watching the replay. Right. And then we close out the Sunday 6 to 7 with a tattoo flash and augmented reality closer with Adrian. So he'll be in, and I believe it. Yeah, and well, there we go. So there's our Reinventing room. Nice. If you're a Reinventing the Tattoo subscriber, this is the form to fill out to make sure you have a seat at the table. Really like the classroom table. It's kind of funny. I thought it's funny. You can get a seat at the table, whatever.
It's funny.
Thank you.
Nice.
Well, there we go. Yeah.
It's a full weekend. Yeah. We've got a few comments here before we bring Thea on. Jason Leeser's in the Fireside chat. He said, good morning. Asked if any of us were planning to go to the Puerto Rico tattoo convention. I would love to do that one. That's the one that Fibs and Yalzi, is that right? Yalzi puts on.
Yep.
And I've never done it, but it looks really cool. I see people posting videos and photos from there. It looks like a really fun one.
Yeah, Puerto Rico's cool. I love Puerto Rico. I was here in 93, I think. Went to, or 92? I don't know, 92, 93. Me and my buddy Simon, we went to Old San Juan, like two skinny ass white kids. And it was awesome. It was great. Dame dos cervezas, por favor. It was, yeah, I'd love to go back to Puerto Rico for sure. My family would love to go. It's hot. And Juan Salgado's there. I love Juan. Juan's down there. There's a bunch of cool Puerto Rican tattooers. Yeah.
But I think that's
whenever people send me the invites, and they're like, yeah, sure, we'll get you there.
Yeah, the first week of December.
Oh, that's great timing.
So it'd be nice to be someplace warm for sure. Yeah. And then we had Ian Tattoo said that Boots Tattooer and Angel from their shop in Chicago was going to be in Hell City. I'll keep an eye out for them. Yeah.
Well, make sure if you see us, you say hello.
Yeah.
From 6 feet back underneath the mask. I'm gonna be hiding out. I haven't gotten the fucking bug this far. I don't know how I'm gonna not get it with fucking 3,000 people there. 5,000 people.
You'll be fine. You can just stay 6 feet away. Just walk in the middle of the aisle. Raiders Nation Sports asks if we still do Flash. Do you guys draw Flash at all?
No, haven't even repped Flash in forever, although with the exception of benefits and whatnot, right? So I suppose at least once or twice a year, I'm working with some tattoo shop that's drawing up Flash for benefits. There's, I mean, okay, we'll take this back. Like Hunter Spanks, he's drawn Flash all the time, and watercolor. He's got a full class on reinventing. Actually, got a really nice feedback from a tattooer who had taken Hunter's watercolor class and then found him at the Rochester Tattoo Convention. Got his fucking top of his hand tattooed by Hunter, and
That's right.
So yeah, the answer to that is yes. There's less Flash than usual. Although I have to, I guess it's not like Flash, but like I hate seeing people use Google, like a lot of that, like when people use Google image search, it's almost like the worst parts of Flash, which is like everyone's got access to it and it's repeatable without the actual having somebody having drawn it. So I think that there's definitely a space for it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I don't draw Flash. I never drew much Flash at all, to be honest. But I know it's something that in the where I worked for years at Underground Art, that was a big part of the apprenticeship process. Was the apprentices drew a sheet of Flash every week, and it could be there was, of course, this was before I'm thinking back before we were drawing on iPads and Cintiqs, but it was you would have a certain size board that you had to draw on, and you could do one large piece or 20 small pieces as long as you filled the board.
Filled it up.
Yeah, and it was a good exercise in helping people draw things that were more tattooable. So
absolutely. I mean, for an apprentice, like absolutely, the first year, each week a theme of the designs that people that are walking in are looking for, and I think probably I've heard, I don't know if you've said it, but a lot of artists, that by drawing that the set of the zodiac symbols in like 6 different styles, gives you an opportunity to be like, oh wait, now I see what I could do. I could do like the Taurus symbol, but it's got a little bit of that flair, a little bit of what I'm wanting to do in it. Whereas the laser artists or the people that just don't see it, that scoff at it, never actually get to that point where they've done enough of the drawings of this stuff to actually be able to wrangle their own style into it.
Yeah, absolutely true. Jason says he's going to be working the Puerto Rico show this year. Just wanted to know if we could get a small group together to go. I would love to look into it. I'll definitely look at the dates and see if there's a way to make it happen. I know that time of the year is a little bit travel heavy, it seems like, but I'd love to go to that show. And I'd love to be in Puerto Rico in December. Sounds great.
Yeah.
One show that I'll say, speaking of conventions, is we're going to go this summer, but physically, but next summer it'll be the Titanic Tattoo Convention in Ireland. It's in Belfast.
Yeah, that's fun. I've been there once. I went there for a day. You know what? Okay. I believe. We'll click in Thea while we're calling the story. I believe that is the space, the convention that Derb met Savannah.
Oh man, right? Yeah, we're it's a different. I'm not sure how it worked when you went to it, but I believe a different guy runs it now.
Okay. Yep. So I was there 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe right after the Emerald Isle tattoo session.
Okay. Did you like it and everything?
It was cool. The venue was cool. The Titanic museum was right there. It's like a multi-level museum. So I'm presuming it's at the same venue. It's like a big mall, kind of like with tons of floors. I don't know, big tall floors. It was pretty cool for sure.
Nice.
I mean, just being in Ireland is fun. It was. I mean, I would happily go back any day of the week.
It's actually it's this July, but over Tony's convention, Tony Urbanic's River City Tattoo Invitational is the same weekend. So I would never skip out on that. But if anybody's going, drop us a comment. Otherwise, we'll be there for sure next year.
Nice. I'd love to do that. I've never been to Ireland.
Yeah, Jake, maybe.
That's great.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what they call Irish car bombs over there?
Just car bombs?
Car bombs.
Yeah.
So
Thea,
she's almost here. I guess we got to help get the stuffs connected. Ask to start video. This is where we run our tech. Oh, look at that, Thea. Can you turn your phone sideways?
Hi.
Perfect. This is working perfect.
Awesome.
Could you turn your phone sideways?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yep. How's that?
You got to turn it sideways and shake it.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Let me turn off I think I got portrait lock.
Voila. Okay.
There we go.
Here we
Perfect.
Hi.
Okay. So you just got off the airplane and landed back in Buffalo?
That's right. Yep.
Were you doing any tattoo travel or?
Yeah, I was working in Florida with Marcus Lund,
All
so
right.
it was a nice little trip.
Awesome.
Yeah, had a little
He's great. And what's the
bit of
studio?
time
It's
at
a
the
Fox and the
beach
Spider down there, maybe?
before that. So yeah, Fox and Spider with a Y. Yes. Yeah, it's a great spot. I love it there.
Very cool.
What part of
Blood
Florida?
Moon last night. Tampa.
Tampa.
Well, I'm going to
Mhm.
fire up some of these. I got some videos of yours in the background here to play.
Oh,
It's
cool.
really fun to see. Wow, that was cool though. Like you do a lot of those videos.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of mostly just watercolor time lapses. I started doing them during lockdown, and then kind of got a bit more practice at doing the editing, although I wouldn't say I'm proficient at it.
Well, you're getting up multiple ones a week, right? Or at least one or two a week.
I'm trying to do one a week usually. Yeah. I don't it's so hard to like gauge posting frequency, honestly. Like for a while I felt like every time I posted I was like losing people. So I'm a little bit like leery of posting too much, but then it's like Instagram is like post more, but it's sort of like a weird neg.
Well,
When you
yeah. So like the platforms want you to be on it as much as possible, right? So that includes posting more. I think in general, like when you have good quality stuff to put out and people dig it, right? So it's less about like every day or even every other day or once a week, but it's as much like when it's cool and there's something to, that would interest
Right.
people to watch.
That's what I try to keep it like that, where it's like how much, would I want to watch something, right?
And now what platforms are you using? This is, are you putting them mostly on the Instagram? Are you using the TikTok? And
Mostly Instagram. I have a TikTok, but I started it fairly recently and I have like barely any engagement with it, because it's just pretty new. And then for a while I was like really not sure what to do with it because I'm not going to sing and dance
sure.
like at all. So it's a little bit more challenging for visual artists. And then it's a whole other thing. Like you really have to focus on like the video composition. Like I don't always feel like I have time to really devote to like significant editing. So I'm basically just cross posting some of the time lapses. And then of course, if I have like animal videos or stuff that I wouldn't put on Instagram, then that can live on the TikTok.
Yeah. I think that, even just stuff like this, with, well, it's a little cheesy, but like the inspirational, a little bit of voiceover. It doesn't have to be inspirational voiceover, just a little bit of voiceover. Even, I think it's got a space on TikTok, right? Like TikTok, because what'll happen is TikTok is going to put everybody in their own lane, right? So like I don't want to say old people, right? But all the people that can't deal with the TikTok formats, but start enjoying watching the full 45 seconds,
Right. A friend of mine has done really well with TikTok just because she uses all the like meme songs and hashtags and stuff and voiceovers. And like, I just can't bring myself to, I just hate it. I don't want to hear the like weird voiceovers and like the same songs on everything. It's just, I'm too old for this. Like, I think a little bit.
Well,
like the platform is definitely for a younger audience than I can completely identify with. But anyway,
yeah, maybe, but like again, not to beat a horse to death. And again, I'm not advocating for social media before your own personal stuff, but like I think that there's a spot for the tattoo format, for your format on TikTok, and because it's the new platform, it's going to deliver, what the people that like it to what you like. I mean, I'm telling you, I got on that shit and fucking 15 minutes later, I'm watching this bird push shit off a shelf and I can't stop. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. It's like a beer knocks it off the shelf, a fucking cup of coffee knocks it off the shelf, whatever it is, the little lovebird's gonna, knock it off the shelf. So like people will watch this shit, right? And if it keeps going, the other thing about it is it just keeps going. It's like even worse than doom scrolling. It's like doom watching. It just fucking does it for you.
It's assault scrolling. Yeah, it's like
I guess mostly what I want to say is just to wrap up real quick. I think that there's an audience on TikTok that digs the stuff that you put up there, right? So like you don't have to use the same songs.
Sure.
You can use your songs.
I'm just being a boomer. Sorry.
One thing I think that's unique about it, that Gabe, one of the last videos you just showed is, you put together one of these watercolor sketches and then you showed the finished tattoo of the sketch. I haven't seen that before. That's super cool. Really cool. If you had like 10 of those to start TikTok with, that would be, I'm sure that would, because everyone wants watercolor tattoos, but you never see the transition from an actual watercolor painting, translated to a tattoo.
I'm gonna try to do that more. The thing that was actually stopping me from doing more, because like the tattooing time lapse, I think would be interesting too, but it's much more challenging to shoot that. And I tried. Once I did one with like a tripod behind me and I felt like it was all like the back of my head half the time. And like you have to, because even in the painting, you have to be a little bit farther away from the surface than you might really want to be because you're in the shot, So
yeah.
So I actually just got some, I can't do a GoPro because I don't want to wear anything like that heavy on my head, but like, cause I can't even do like headlamps, but I got those like Ray-Ban video glasses. Like I literally just ordered them. So I'm going if that works. Cause they're basically, I don't know. It's like supposedly linked with Facebook, which is sort of annoying, but for doing the length of video that I'm trying to do, it might be good. So
I think it's right on because it might even be eventually 3D.
Possibly. It just seems like, okay, that's the only way I can imagine shooting POV for that process, So, well, I'll give it a try. If it works, it works.
Yeah, I would be interested to
Thea,
see. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jake, I was muted. Are you familiar with Fawn Baker over at Red
No.
Tree? So when we went there, she had her mount coming from the ceiling. So essentially, if you had a track on your mount coming from the ceiling, pushing in, you can kind of push.
That's cool. Yeah. That's really neat.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting because I was moving a little bit being tattooed by Bob Tyrell at the time. But so wherever he was, she kind of just moved it a little bit and it zoomed in. It was pretty interesting.
That sounds really neat. I have to like definitely, I don't know, try to remember that and like make a note and look at it because I've got like an iPad mounted on the ceiling. Like we've got a drop ceiling with the metal like lattice. So I have this magnetic mount for the iPad. So I wonder if like there's something like that. Yeah, that would be good for camera. Yeah, cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm curious about those glasses though. I tried for a little while years ago when we first started doing tutorials in Fireside. It wasn't a GoPro, but it was Sony's version of that. And it came, like you said, with a little head thing, but the camera didn't sit on the front, it sat on the side. And I quit using it because of just how much I realized that my head moved, like especially going back and forth to get ink and then like looking away and glancing. And I caught all those little movements. So I found that I was only able to use like 10% of the video whenever I was actually, still. But I mean, if you're conscious of it.
Actually, no, that's a good call. I'll definitely keep that in mind for sure. I think it only records in like 30-second bursts, which isn't great for time lapse because it's designed for stories and it probably has very limited, capacity. But even if it's just clips, because honestly, like you'd have to condense so much anyway into the time lapse that like it probably wouldn't be bad to just have little, I could probably say so for 30 seconds and then I don't know, do a 30-second clip every few, whatever.
Were they expensive?
Not terribly. It was about the same, like maybe $100 more than a regular pair. So,
okay.
It was like $300, I think. So, not cheap, but if it works better, if it's more comfortable and works better than, something that's more like cumbersome on my head, I think it seems like it's worth it. So,
yeah.
But it's glasses, or it could be prescription, but they're just going to be like regular clear lenses. So Might fog those up. Who knows? Might not work at all.
Yeah, one way to find out. You'll learn.
Yep.
So you don't have them yet. You just ordered them. So what you said?
I ordered them, and I was hoping they would arrive before I got to Florida, because I was kind of thinking it'd be a good opportunity to do some shooting. But no, they just got here, so I just saw them when I rolled in.
Yeah, Jeremy Burt is looking for the needle cam. Imagine that going in and out.
Yes.
The needle cam.
Okay. That's funny.
It's, but there is a significant amount of brain power that goes into stabilizing our head or our visual, right? Like when you talk to some of the brain scientists that talk about the visuals and senses and whatnot, it's one of the main computing power, or one of the reasons why visual takes so much computing power.
Interesting. I believe it.
It's pretty fun. I mean, it would be interesting to have like a how the eyes work for tattooers, kind of a course like this, just specifically, because a lot of it also has, when artists are deliberate about moving someone's eyeball through a painting, a lot of times people will get in tune with the effects, but not necessarily understand the biology behind it, like why the eyes actually only focus in on this. You actually literally can't see what's not in your field of vision. That's how magicians do their trick. They have you focused here, so you can't actually see over here and stuff.
Right. No, that stuff's all really interesting. It would be cool to do more, research partnering with tattoo artists. I know Amanda's done a few of those projects, and it's definitely really interesting.
Can you expand upon that? That's Amanda. So for the people that you're talking about, Amanda Wacombe?
Amanda Wacombe. Yeah, I actually I wish I could speak to it more. That I don't exactly know, because they were quite technical. But she was doing one where there was like biometric feedback being recorded of the tattoo machine, and then also with the person getting tattooed. And I think recently she was gonna do something with like oh my god, what was it? It was something about like pigments. I don't know. Sorry.
No worries. So people should look up Amanda Wacombe and science stuff.
Amanda Wacombe, WACHOB. She definitely would have information on her website about it, because like she's the only person I know of who's actually done that kind of exploratory collaboration. But it just seems like a very cool idea.
We've talked to a couple of scientisty types, and I know that Jake and Lauren probably have a lot of more experience than I do actually talking with and working with the scientist types. But from the interviews and such, they love talking to tattoo people, because usually they're talking to academics. So when they get a hold of real live tattoo people,
right? And it's an interesting process. It's different from a lot of other media, and there's so many moving parts and stuff going on. I think there's a lot of technical points of interest. So
we've spoken a couple episodes past, Thea, about Hannah Wolf. She had written a book called The Science of Tattooing.
Oh, cool. No, I'm not familiar with that.
Pretty interesting. It's like I was saying before, it's a boring science book essentially, because she went down into like the chemistry and the levels of like that. It is a science book. So if you ever can catch that, Jake, have you had a chance to read your copy at all?
No, I forgot to order it again.
That sounds really cool.
Today.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's good that it's like, so I'm saying it's good that it's like dry and academic, because it's more rare that way, and not just like pop sci. Neat.
Very thorough.
Very cool.
Yeah. I was gonna also say, Thea, I was talking before you came on about I've been playing with watercolor almost nonstop for the last several weeks, and I've done just piles of these paintings and watching you. And I sat, I recorded your seminar at in Jiminy Peak.
Right.
And you went through your process and did like some kind of mixed media and all of that. And I think the thing that I struggle with that you have down so well is like your ability to kind of let it be what it is and respond to it kind of in real time, like just dropping water on a paper and just seeing when you do drop pigment where it gathers, and then trying to like scoot it out from there and stuff like that, rather than trying to like really control it the way that you might control oil paint.
Right.
And
yeah,
so
it's so great.
Yeah, you just can't. It's like you just have to let it be. So watching those little videos that Gabe just pulled up reminded me of that. That's what struck me whenever I watched you go through and do your demo and your seminar. Was that
a fun discovery process in it. I mean, and you can fuss with it later, really. I mean, depending on your surface that you're using, like if you use, there are a few papers and board surfaces that are pretty forgiving if you want to do some extractive techniques and like actually really get in there and, you know, work it to death. But I'm like trying not, I do that more so with like more illustrative stuff, and I'm just not really, that's just not my focus really like right now. So I'm trying, like you said, with oils and other things, it's like much more tempting to, you know, keep going back in. But
what's funny about it, I'm finding, is I'm jumping on YouTube and like watching tutorials constantly. And with most visual art kind of process stuff, I'm not big on like watching videos of tricks, like tricks of how to make eyes shine, or tricks to get the best this or to get the best that. I like to focus on principles and then kind of like discover, you know, from there. A lot of times I feel like the tricks are like clickbaity. But with watercolor, that's all I'm watching is like tricks, like how to get it to behave this way, how to get the texture to do that, how to give the illusion of light. I'm just watching trick video after trick video, and they're good. Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, you do need to know some like ways to manipulate it, just because it is sort of so wild. It's not like as, you know, there's not as much like that. Yeah, I guess there's like, you know, right, light source, like how to make something look round or whatever in oil, but it is so different because it's like with watercolor, it's like, is it wet on wet, or are you using some dry brush, or are you doing like salting, or like all kinds of like weird things that make it look completely different, like masking fluid. I mean, just stuff that has a completely different effect on the paper. And the paper is so limited as far as like how much you can work it before it starts to deteriorate. So yeah, you kind of have to know what you're doing going in, where you like have some idea of like, I mean, and I think there's probably a little bit of like, you know, the illusion of it being easy, like, because you do have to do it quite a bit before it becomes more natural. But like, and I wouldn't say I'm at all proficient at like the Asian, like Chinese ink painting and like watercolor techniques at all, but that's some super inspirational stuff. Like if you really want to see like, you know, watercolor mastery that is just like single stroke work with like how you load the brush and how you there's actually specific, you know, motions that you have to like maneuver and manipulate the brushwork to make it look a certain way. And it is much more systematized, but it's also very, you know, individualistic as far as like how you express it. But yeah, there's so many interesting ways of like just making marks. So yeah, I love watercolor as a medium, and plus there's no fumes.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think that's a big I think that's a big reason why I've taken to it, is because I've mainly painted in oil most of my life, and I have to prepare, like I have to, you know, I have to save time to clean brushes at the end of each, you know, day, and I can't just take a couple hour break and come back, because I have to clean brushes between that. And but with watercolor, like literally this water has been here for like I don't know, 3 weeks. I haven't done anything with it. And the brushes are. You know,
it can get a little like muddy, you know, if you want your colors super pure, you want to keep, you know, clean water at least. But like, yeah, I mean, I kind of like muddy colors. So yeah, me too. I'm terrible. I mean, I don't hardly clean my brushes. I just keep re-wetting them, you know, and then the paints are continuously reactivatable. I mean, they can be completely dried out and they're, you know, back to life in a moment. I mean, it's kind of magical, really.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's the ultimate kind of lazy person's medium to me. Yeah.
Exactly. Or just like being, you know, spontaneous, and then like you can have, you know, very little time and still execute it. And like, so it's nice for tattooing, because it does, you know, doing oil painting for each client is, you know, fairly unrealistic, but you could do watercolor this way. It's nice like that.
Yeah. Yeah. What other, I remember kind of like what you're doing in this video right here, you were kind of making little friskets and stuff like that. What are your go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying, this is a more mixed media demo. So this is what the seminar is based on too, just because mixed media is a good way, I feel like, to get people, to sort of introduce people to the range of mark making and different materials and what they really look like in person versus like the digital approximations of them and filters.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, again, just like exploring media and like just being able to be a little bit more personally expressive. And then you don't have to be so like, you know, you take an image from Google search and then you import it and then you like trace it or you use that as like a digital collage, and then everything is so deliberate in a digital composition. Like you don't have those sort of explorations and happy accidents, and what does that really look like if you just make that mark on the paper? It's sort of, you're very much more limited to like what someone has designed and created as a palette, in your filter program. So yeah, it's just, I think it's like a fun, like, I mean, watercolor is a fun demo too, but like, I feel like, the mixed media is just like, got more of a range. And then, you're seeing like how many, different styles you can kind of fit into a composition.
Yeah. And I guess, and there are a lot of different kind of ways to approach it too. I find that this watercolor that I've been playing with a lot lately becomes mixed media because like maybe I'm not saving the whites the way that I want to. So I'm coming back with gouache, and then I'm like, well, the gouache looks a little bit chalky. Let me try a liquid acrylic, and then I'll try that. And I'm like, let me try colored pencil on top of that. Yep. And so the next thing I know, like, I've never been a mixed media person at all. Now I've got this like pile of different materials around.
You get your clear coat. You want some nice clear coat in between layers, and then you can do even more stuff. You can oil glaze on top of it.
Oh, really? What kind of clear coat? What do I?
Like crystal clear works really well, or like a workable fixative is great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's. This is a lot of that stuff, like the layering and mixed media stuff I learned from the Illustration Academy, which is amazing. Like I think it's available like more as an online course now than it was when I attended, but Jesse and I both went to that, and it was like invaluable information. Like every artist, it's just taught by professional illustrators, and they're like top illustrators, and they would just come in, show their work, like you do a presentation, and then they would do a live demo, like where they would do an entire piece start to finish. And, each one of them has a completely different technique and style, but many of them utilize like layering processes like with mixed media. And I mean, it's just incredible to see like the work that they can produce in a very short amount of time, because that's, your commercial illustration turnaround time is like sometimes 24 hours from like thumbnail to finish. And then it's going to be on like, the cover of Time or whatever, at least it used to be. It's really,
there seems like there are more and more of those. I was looking at one recently that a friend of mine, an artist, is taking through Smarter Art School. I think is what it is. Smarter Art.
I haven't heard of that. Yeah, there's a lot more cool
so many of those. Yeah. He's taking one from that's it's Scott Fisher and Greg Manchess. I don't know if you knew either of them, but they're.
Yeah, he's one of the people who was involved with Illustration Academy too.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's so good. And my friend Adam was telling me just about what he was learning in the class, and he said that Scott Fisher would start like these underpaintings, these like messy kind of paintings in Photoshop, low resolution paintings, and then he has them like printed on canvas. And then he brings the canvas in and he uses it as his underpainting, and he paints an oil right on top of it. Yeah, it was like, oh, what a crazy idea.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn out there.
Yeah, right. I never would have considered that at all. Yeah, that's it. Just pulled out Smarter Art School. Yeah, so it's like, and I guess you can print on canvas so cheap now online, and you can like. I never thought of that. Yeah, George Pratt is friend. He's someone that was involved in that. A lot of these people, but it's. Any opportunity you have to learn from those guys, like definitely take it. I mean, see if you can find Illustration Academy, if you can pull it up. Cause it's so good. I was just lucky enough to be in Virginia when it was being hosted at VCU, because it's an independent program, and it's like a 6-week intensive basically. Yeah, this is them. Okay. Yeah. That logo looks familiar.
And so yeah, it was like just there for a while, and then they were trying to get it permanently, and George Pratt was teaching there, and Sterling Hundley teaches at VCU, and then George moved to Ringling College in Sarasota, which is also a really great school, and then they moved the program down there for a little while. It actually originated in Kansas City. And I think that it's kind of back in Kansas City. It's John English, and he's sort of like the main founding member, and Mark, his father, who's passed away now. But It's a great program. Like I don't know how much the online course costs, but I would say whatever it is, I'm sure it's worth it.
Yeah. How long was the course that you went through?
It was 6 weeks. And I did it
daily,
twice.
like in person?
Yeah. It was a lot. It was like, they did it like 3 weeks, excuse me. And then they did, a break with like, then they had more artists come and then just do like an auditorium presentation where they were doing a talk and showing their slides of their portfolios and stuff. So it covered everything from like the business side and like dealing with the clients and how to present, your thumbnails and dealing with art directors, to like everything from that to like, image making and impactful images, because illustration, you have to make very impactful imagery, like because you're basically trying to, it's sort of like clickbait before clickbait, it's like, how do you get someone interested in reading your article or your book? Well, you have to have an engaging image that grabs people's attention. So it's very dialed into like the crafting of it, and like not exactly the science, but it might as well be like scientifically, like why is your eye, try, like Gabe was talking about earlier, like how I move through a painting, not physiologically, but what is your eye zeroing in on, and how do you get it to move through a piece, and like, just all kinds of like really useful.
We did a drunk critique with Dan Dos Santos and a whole mess of like the Illustrator Masters class, which are a lot of the smarter school people. It was amazing. And just to hear the way that they went through a piece was, it wasn't completely different, but it was different. Like there was different questions. It was a lot about priority for, primary, secondary, tertiary, like why is a hand like this and not like this? Or why is a hand like this and not like this? A lot of those real Illustrator type details. And I was going to say, one of the things I did is I sent out all the reinventing we got these little sketchbooks, thumbnail sketchbooks, and I was like, I should make little thumbnail sketches every day, because if I got through the end of this, I might not be that bad. And I immediately started writing down pairs of tattooers and illustrators for my upcoming events. And so I'm like, fuck it, I'm not going to draw anything. I'm just going to pair tattooers up with illustrators. This is for inspiring tours and stuff. And so I was thinking of like, in my wildest imaginations, I'm just trying to think up of pairs of people or whatever. And it's pretty cool to think of different people that would be able to work with illustrators. And like I said, like I'm trying to think of like, for Paradise, we actually have dates for Paradise next year, 2023. And I'm like, who's going to teach? And I I can only think of pairs at the moment. I'm like, the only thing I could think of right now are pairs of awesome artists that know how to render and do cool shit, and an illustrator that's not necessarily in the same vein or school, but maybe is. I mean, the obvious choice where they are, like, whatever, Nico and Chedzar or Gabe Leonard or whatever. But like sometimes it would be pretty cool to have like a great renderer and a little bit of a freaky artist. And anyways, that's where I'm going with things.
I love that as a theme. Yeah.
That is a good thing. I was just going to say, like, they're all like major proponents of thumbnails, because like the thumbnail solves all your problems before you ever waste your time, like making it, finalized. So,
and if you want to join the next Reinventing the Tattoo evolution, you'll get a complimentary thumbnail sketchbook that encourages you to thumbnail every day. In fact, on the back, we have our thumbnail message board for you to upload whatever it is. Sorry.
Right. And then you do your value studies, and then basically it should look right, at 2 inches by 4 inches or whatever, smaller, and then once you've solved all of your design questions in that scale, then you're just scaling it up and adding detail, then it saves you from wasting a huge amount of time and, on a big piece. And then a lot of people, like, you'll focus in on, like the key area of a piece, and like then you're sort of forgetting about the whole rest of the composition in the background, where like it kind of keeps you on track and prioritizing your elements basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Same kind of stuff we've been preaching for a long time. We've got a little thumbnail template set that's just all body mapping. It was from before, Russ had protoplast sets on for, that you could just drop an arm or a torso or whatever on your iPad.
Use that stuff, but it seems very cool.
Yeah. I don't use it that much either, but it definitely is. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
I know
great
people
tool.
too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, where are we on time? Were we
Well, I
supposed
think
to
it's
hit
time
on,
to wrap up. Yeah, it's 12 noon.
were we supposed to
So-
hit on anything? Thea, are you doing something? Are you at Hell City or no? Is that-
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I'm
Okay.
gonna be doing on Sunday at noon. Is that right, Gabe? Sunday at
Something
noon?
like that. Yeah. It's if you go to reinventingthetattoo.com/Hell City, it's Sunday, the first event on Sunday. And yeah, people can catch it in person there, and you'll be there in person. And as well as beam in if they wanted to get the online version. They won't be able to like get their hands dirty, but
Yeah.
well, no, wait, they can get their hands dirty. They just have to get their hands dirty at their house.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it'll be like a live, like the same seminar, like pretty much that I did before, except it'll be with a live demo as well. So every time I do a live demo, obviously that's completely different. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Excited to check it out. Excited to see you guys there. Like all of us in person. It feels like it's been forever. I guess it hasn't been that long. 3 of us were together in just this past October, but that feels like a lifetime ago.
No, that already does seem like a while ago, but that was
you can meet me up in the condo far away if you get the password, because I'm like, there's too many fucking people already. I love it. I can't wait to see everybody. Also.
Cool. Yeah. And I'll be in the wet paint project room all weekend too.
Awesome.
Oh, nice. So are you tattooing at all? You're just going to be painting?
No, just painting. Yeah, it's going to be a nice break from the last week of guest spotting.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, and the wet paint project, Chris always puts together an awesome set of artists. So it's a great vibe. So that as you're going through the Hell City experience, hitting that wet paint room and be like, ooh, wait, it's painting.
Yeah, I think it's a free part of the convention too, which is nice. So it's like anybody can just come into the room and see what's going on.
Yeah, I always enjoy walking through there. I need to do that sometime instead of tattooing. I'm sure it'd feel a lot better at the end of the weekend.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
I can drive there. I can kind of, get away with it. I'm like, all right, yeah. It's not
Perfect.
that
Awesome.
bad. Cool.
Well, okay. So last contact info, Thea. So for people that want to get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can email me submissions@ghostprint.com for appointments, and I think my web link is broken right now, but it's ghostprint.com/tattoo is my portfolio, and then of course Instagram is probably the best because it's the most current. So that's just Thea Duskin on Instagram.
Perfect. Lauren, do you want to close out the show?
Yeah, thank you everybody for watching episode number 33. We'll all be in Hell City and we'll be doing lots of videos and photos. So looking forward to that. Jake, thank you for coming on again today. And Gabe, of course.
Yeah.
Thea, it's great to meet you. And we'll be excited to meet you in person this weekend.
Totally. Thanks, guys. Nice talking to you.
Thank you guys for watching.
Awesome.